And so for everybody listening, knowing where the fire signs are in your chart, what houses they're in, that's how you understand. Like, oh, that's where my fire trine is going to be. Yes, that's where your fire trine is going to be. There's going to be a lot of power there, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of innovation, a lot of just a lot of things kind of feeling more stabilized, even though it'll be in the midst of change. Neptune will be done with Pisces for the rest of our lives, like never again. And it's a huge ending. It's a huge ending. And it's not just a huge ending in terms of like right now, my life, like, oh, I just washed the dishes. It's a huge ending in karmic connections. It's a huge ending in even in like generational karmic stuff where we had like these soul bonds and soul ties. Like there's things we've accomplished, there's work we've done where we've accomplished and we've completed. And so Neptune can dissolve those bonds. And if they're dissolved by Neptune, that's the way you want to do it. That's the way you want it to be. And so understanding there's going to be almost a freeing sensation, which there is, because then after Neptune, or after Pisces goes to Aries, and Aries is all about my independence, my freedom. I can do what I want now. It's me, and it's courageous and it's ready to embark on that new, to go where no man has gone before. It's the pioneer, right? It's ready to get out and go into whatever it's ready to go out and go into. So for people with the fire in the houses of income and money and values, you're probably going to have changes, of course, like all of us will, but probably a little bit of some stabilizing assistance, because where the Aries energy is with Saturn going through there and Neptune, it definitely brings on a beginning, but it's a beginning that you kind of already dabbled with a year ago. Okay, so that's for all of us. There's going to be a major Venus cycle, right? And then for 2026, we have two of them actually. We have Venus completing a cycle, and then we have Venus starting a cycle. And that matters because Venus is my desires, my love, and my money. So that is one of the themes for 2026. And many times, yes, income, I've spoken about it on some people's charts. Very, very like, I don't want to say a startup-y energy, but it kind of is going to be that way. And people in general, especially for people who will be dealing with, I'm done with that. I don't want to do that for a living anymore, or where there are, departments eliminated or downsizing happening. People, again, reevaluating how they make money. And all that's based on where their values lie, right? And so people then going further and saying, I realize I have like these other gifts. I have these other skill sets, because a lot of that's going to be revealed in 2026. And so with that, it's like, okay, so can I make money off of this? Can I make money doing this? And so it's kind of like the Aries energy of really initiating something and going forward into a place that I haven't gone before, and work that I haven't done before. And maybe would I be working for myself? Is that realistic? And so those are some really important questions that each individual has to kind of wrestle with for themselves. So for some folks, it's a new life direction that they'll be taking, literally, because it's like, okay, I got a new skill set. And when one thing ends, it's like, it's a perfect opportunity to start something new. And these new approaches and these new life directions, remember I said we kind of dabbled in them in 2025? This energy that we'll be having in 2026, it will strengthen that. So I was using the word stabilizing it somewhat because Saturn's going to be in Aries, and Saturn tends to stabilize. But it will actually really, or also add strength to that dabbling that we did into that kind of new thing, that new perspective or life direction that we were taking. So this will be happening on a large scale as well as on the personal scale. And that's how it works, right? Because if corporations are, if some corporations are no longer around, right, then we're reevaluating really quickly if we were working for those corporations. And so this is all part of the big Venus thing, because in January of 2026, there will be a conjunction. And I'm not going to pull the chart up right now or any of that, but I'm just going to talk about it, hopefully in a non-astrological way. With this new cycle, it's Venus finishing a cycle in January, okay, where she is getting to, where she's completed. Because if you've ever seen the Venus cycles, she makes like these, kind of looks like a lotus flower in a sense, or you could call it a star, however you want to look at it. But she's completed it, and it takes her 8 years to actually go ahead and complete it, right? So if you're following it and you're seeing it, you're like, "Holy crap, it's done." And it's in Capricorn. This is corporations, this is businesses. This can be some government energy as well. So there is a value connected with corporations. There's a value connected with government energy, big boss energy. Yeah. My long-term goals and plans and my long-term commitments. Okay. What I've been working on, what I want to work on, or what I'm willing to work on really hard, like diligently every single day, where I'm very serious and I won't give up on it and I just keep working. This Venus is finished. She's finished. So in other words, it's, what other thing can I consider to do? What is my new value in terms of work, or in terms of what am I willing to commit to? But it's all going to be based on what your values are. And your self-worth is going to be big. Self-worth is big anytime we talk about Venus. So it's not just love, but self-worth, because love of self, of course. Hold on a minute. What the hell is that? Oh, it's Taffy. I'm like, there's some crazy ass noise in here. All right, well, come on over here if you want to come up. Come on. Come on. Are you coming? Come on. There you go. Okay. Yeah, your towel's already there. Your sister was here earlier. Okay. There you go. So it's just getting my mind around new ways of making a living. Okay. The economy will still be an issue, especially since there will be a lot of changes and on a large scale. Okay. There will also be a lot of creative energy. There will be a shit ton of support for being creative. And so this is really helpful, knowing that that energy is going to be, and it's not just creative energy, but it's courageous, right? Think Leo energy, very courageous energy. Think Saggy with the confidence. So it's a mixture of all the fire, the courage, and the confidence to move forward, to rise up above and beyond. What is that? Onward and upward shit kind of thing, right? So spirituality can be part of it, because there will absolutely be increased intuitions. Increased intuitions. Okay. We could have new spiritual leaders. We could have new leaders, period. New military leaders, but also new, whether it's governments and heads of state and all that kind of good stuff. The thing that's going to be super important is to be open to creativity and to your creative ideas, because these changes for 2026 will also include physical changes. It's not just going to be like all here and all here. And yeah, I mean, with the increase of fire energy in general, there's an increase of heat. That's an increase of heat on the planet as well. So the earth itself too going through changes for sure. So it's not just us, but it's us and the earth together, undergoing energetic upgrades. Okay. So we have to have these creative solutions, and health will be a thing. Health will be a thing. And it's not to say, um, all of a sudden people they have bad health. No, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be more around people are going to be thinking about um, health in terms of what can I actually do for myself. It's almost as if people will be taking more responsibility for their health and being more serious in terms of holding themselves responsible for it, instead of being so dependent on institutional and doctors and hospitals and stuff. Not that there's not a place for that, there is, but taking more responsibility for our own health and well being. Grounding will be very important. Grounding energy will also be very important, especially for people, because if you have higher intuitions, if we're having these energetic upgrades, what that means is, well, at least the way I understand it, what it means is you will have to spend time, scheduling time to make sure that you are finding ways to ground yourself. Because when we aren't grounded, like we get sidetracked to our duties, our responsibilities, our job, our paying the bills, literally finding ways to that we could take care of ourselves, especially if we're new to this stuff, especially if we aren't used to connecting and having those highly intuitive bursts and moments and knowing how to recalibrate. So knowing how to stay balanced and connected and grounded will be important, and it should be probably made or incorporated into my daily routine in general, because it'll be amped up even more, because we're going to have Neptune going through Aries. And see, Aries is your body, your physical body. So with Neptune traveling through Aries energy, Neptune is more of the higher vibrations. It's the 5D, 5D, 7D. It's not the 3D. It's not the material and the tangible. So it can create like a disconnect, and it can create like some confusion about my body and myself. Definitely about one's boundaries. My physical boundaries will be important. And because see, Neptune can kind of dissolve whatever it comes into contact with. I know you need a scratching post for your cheeks, but that's not it, baby. So the main thing with that Neptune energy going through Aries, wherever Aries is in your chart, is to just know to kind of, depending upon a lot of other things, but to know that Aries can kind of lash out. It can be harsh. It can be combative and impatient and frustrated. And so Neptune likely will dissolve those things, which is one of the beautiful things about that connection. It'll dissolve Aries' ego even, because it'll take on spiritual activity, Aries, physical, being active. But I'm under the impression of Neptune, so I'm taking action with all the Neptune keywords. And I'm thinking about unity and oneness. And I think someone said something in the chat about unconditional love, right? Aries will definitely be more about we energy, be more about the we energy, because when Neptune dissolves the ego, it says, okay, I can't just be focused on only me, right? But when we're highly sensitive and highly in tune, we will just, again, it's about the grounding energy and about making sure that we are establishing healthy boundaries. Bottom line, establishing healthy boundaries. That will be imperative. If not, we're going to feel tired and run down, because Neptune can easily do that in Aries energy. It doesn't just dissolve Aries energy, or I mean its ego and its boundaries. It can dissolve and make the body tired. It can take away that that fiery fight kind of energy. Okay. I will also mention that Neptune is also like hospitals and institutional energy, right? So some people, depending upon other things in their chart, their people may find themselves in the need of being in a hospital. That could be a real thing. Okay. Um, Adaptability and being open and willing to explore will be also very important for 2026. There's another big event that happens. There's a like a once every 60-year event that will happen in 2026. And with this energy, it's a mixture of two planets. I'm not even going to say what they are. It'll just be easier not to. But what it does is it can bring about change where we're incorporating the past and the present and the future. So it 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 kind of feels a little bit like Jupiter energy because we kind of have the intuition and the intuitiveness to be connected to the future, but in a more grounded way. So it's not just about my dreams, it's more about, but is this realistic? Is this doable? Like I can dream this, but do I have the steps that can logically, rationally, like in a tangible way, like, can I actually start on this path? Can I actually do this? And with that sort of intention and that thinking around it, we're literally kind of increasing our own willpower. And by doing that, it's almost as though we have an opportunity where our own willpower and our soul literally kind of have a conversation. And so, with that, is this new path that we are willing to blaze with all the fire energy. But that new path that you're willing to blaze is grounded. It's got like a Saturn Capricorny vibration to it. So it's more about it's organized, it's structured, it's thinking very long term, and it's setting up like obtainable goals, like a list of obtainable goals. So this energy for 2026, although there will definitely be changes and there will definitely be challenges, there can definitely also be some very optimistic, bright spots where we're initiating change. And we have the courage and we have, the wherewithal to move forward, the whole onward and upward and fearlessness even of Aries energy. Aries is, yeah, quite fearless. One of the keys at the foundation of all this will be for folks to pay attention to their Venus energy in general. Not so much like, okay, where the heck is my Venus, but your values, your self worth, your self love, your self care. Because once we do, we have a clear understanding of what we're willing to do for self and then for others. And that will be important because fire will tend to want to go it alone. It'll want to blaze that path. It'll want to lead. It will want to just kind of like start it, but not necessarily maybe finish it. But it's going to, if it's connected, if it's grounded, then it will be something that can be finished. So that's where it's going to be important, and the networking and talking with other people and being flexible. Those things will be important. And fire, yeah, if others get too close, sometimes they can get burned. So it will take some careful navigating. But I think necessity will be at the top of the list. And you know what they say, right? Like the mother of inventions is necessity. Like the needs will be at the top of the list because of the economic crap that 2025, the intentional shit of 2025, the economic uncertainty will still be growing in 2026. So necessity will probably push some folks out of their comfort zone. And that's where Uranus comes in Gemini. That's where Uranus says it'll give us the new ideas. It'll give us the I want to break out of the routine. So there is a lot of support individually, a lot of support on the micro level for every one of us. The Venus for that Capricorn stuff. Here's just a few things I have jotted down. When Venus is in Capricorn and when Venus makes a completion, she is now, I always say I love Venus in Capricorn because she's mature. She's long-term focused. She's not petty. She's not all about the flowers and the candy, right? She's a smart Venus. She's going for the long goal, okay? So she is committed. She is practical. The words mature love I have here. She's focused realistically on what will pay off in the long term. She will have the ability to say no. She will be able to make decisions. She'll be strategic and she'll be able to observe. The long-term planning will be important. She will conserve. She won't spend frivolously. This is why I love Venus in Capricorn. She will not spend her money frivolously. Okay. That will be important. And what's wonderful, this is like a gift because her being part of that big conjunction coming in January, it sets the tone. You see, it sets the tone going forward with our values. All right. Because it will take us into another point that Venus is going to have, another cycle that Venus is beginning, but that won't happen until October. The next Venus new point, we'll call it, happens in October. So based on what happens in January and what our long-term commitments are, we will know by October. We will be in a position because we'll be reevaluating with our Venus energy. We will be taking another serious look and we'll be, saying, okay, so how far has this gone? Am I on course? Do we need to make some adjustments? And in Scorpio energy, if something or someone needs to be let go, Venus will do it. It will happen. So for some folks, yeah, it could be a time of, okay, this is over. It can be that kind of energy. And it could have to do with, Scorpio stuff. So shared values. It doesn't have to be, there could be a few different ways that could look. But bonded energy is that Scorpio stuff. So the good thing about Venus also in Capricorn is she's ready for new goals. She's a very serious builder. She's, seeking recognition. She seeks recognition. So she's going to be kind of a hard worker. And it will enhance powerful developments, powerful opportunities. She'll be very responsible. Because remember, it's about duty and work, responsibilities. And she will also make plans based on history, like lessons learned, things that she's been through. Because, Saturn is that tried and true and tested type of energy where we're just not running about nilly-willy. We're basing things on expertise. We're talking to experts and professionals. We're not just, getting our best friend's opinion on something. We're seeking out a professional type of thing. Yeah, it's a smart Venus. It's a smart Venus. People who are responsible, people who get the job done based on experience and expertise. So this is why I love Venus when she's in Capricorn. She's such a smart Venus. And I think we can all benefit from it because I don't have a Venus in Capricorn in my chart. Matter of fact, my Venus is in freaking Aries. So in a way, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, sometimes when I do the astrology for Venus in Capricorn, I'm just like, damn, I wish I had that. But my Venus is in young ass Aries, not in mature, tried, true, tested Cappy, where it's got the expertise and the experience. You see, so it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Venus and Aries would be young and almost immature and like a green behind the ears type of thing, and just very juvenile in terms of money, values, love, desires, even. Yeah, it would be like you think of Mars as a young energy, Aries as a young energy. So Venus could be very silly with her values and with her money and with her desire and appearances. Oh my God, right? Venus and Aries, appearances. So kind of, yeah, kind of young. We'll leave it like that, kind of young. Yes, 2026 reveals. Yeah, which by the way, we'll have more 2026 reveals, a little bit of I guess you could call it a forecasting. It'll be all the signs. We'll do all the signs. Um I'm doing like a collaboration with another channel and yeah, I'll have the date. I think it's January 14th. January 14th? Yeah, January 14th. And it'll be 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So adjust for the time zone you live in. I will be doing a breakdown on all the signs of the zodiac for 2026. It'll just be like a speed reading for each one, literally, because I won't be looking at anybody's charts. But I believe they're going to be doing like I think they're going to be doing like a spin on the wheel where the names in the chat are put on this wheel and then they spin it. And then whoever's name comes up, you get a 15-minute reading with me. I think that's how we're doing it. Some of the details might change. Yeah, I think that's how we're doing it. So yeah, once I get the name of that channel, we'll bring it on and I'll let you guys know for sure. But if anybody's interested, yeah. Oh yeah. Obsolete energy. Yeah, that is so totally what it's going to be, Lou. There's just so much has already been destroyed. I mean, so much of the old ways that things were has been yeah, just dismantled. Just dismantled. We are going to end this. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Thank you for everybody who came and who participated. And we'll be back here next week. Again, send me an email if you want to take part in the private live. Send me an email if you want to be part of the Astrology 101, Learn Astrology 101. I've got some folks who are lined up and who are ready for classes. We will be doing that on a Saturday night. It'll be, yeah, taking the place of one of the Starry Night live streams. We'll do it that way because for right now, that's the only time I got. It's the only time slot I have. So if you want in that, or if you have questions, just send me an email and we'll go from there. So with that said, we'll be back next week. Everybody take care, stay safe, and stay warm. Stay warm. See you next week at 9 p.m. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, everyone else. Bye.